One of the men convicted in the murder of Crystal Rogers wants his guilty verdicts thrown out.
WDRB's Hayden Rostevsky breaks down why attorneys believe Joseph Lawson deserves a new trial. Hayden?
Well, guys, last week, a jury found Joseph Lawson guilty of conspiracy murder and evidence tampering. His attorneys want the judge to set aside his conviction or grant a new trial. They believe Lawson did not get a fair trial and should not have been tried with Brooks Houck.
Steve Lawson's name was mentioned more times than Joey Lawson's name. Brooks Houck's name was mentioned more times than Joey Lawson's name. Nick Houck's name was mentioned more times than Joey Lawson's name. And Rosemary Houck's name was mentioned more times than Joey Lawson's name. In fact, his name didn't even come up until the third day of trial.
That was a clip from closing arguments inside the courtroom last week. In newly filed court documents, defense attorneys pointed to several errors they believe were made during the trial. They took issue with damning testimony from Steve's ex-girlfriend, Heather Snellen. She testified she overheard Joseph Lawson and Steve Lawson talking about moving a body with a skid steer at the Houck farm. Attorneys say her statement wasn't trustworthy and no evidence of a body or a burial site were ever found during searches of the farm.
She acknowledged the washer dryer was loud. She only heard bits and pieces. She even questioned if she heard it right because she was so high on meth. She also added that Steve and Joey were always high and drunk and were complete bullshit.
Attorneys also argued the conviction for Steve Lawson, Joseph's father. A month prior to this trial was an elephant in the room the entire trial and clearly had a spillover effect. The jury recommended Joseph Lawson be sentenced to 25 years in prison. Attorneys asked the judge to hear this new motion before that official sentencing on August 21st, but it is in fact possible that the judge will make a ruling at an earlier date.
And a lot of people probably wondering what this might mean for Brooks Houck.
Scott, it's important to remember that even though Joseph Lawson and Brooks Houck were tried together, these are separate charges, separate verdicts, separate convictions. And as of today, at this point, there are no publicly available documents that suggest that Houck's attorneys have filed any sort of appeal.
All right, we'll keep an eye on this case. There are more changes to come, I'm sure. Thanks, Hayden.